So now we're going to talk about altering stitches and putting them to memory. I'm just going to move the camera to the front of the machine. There we go. Now, the B335 comes with 115 decorative stitches. And as I indicated in the previous video, in order to select one of these stitches, let's say I want the snowflakes, and this is stitch number 60, I would hit pound 60. And you notice that my display changed. So it's telling me I'm going to be doing decorative stitch number 60. Well, let's say we want to make a combination of stitches and store them to the memory. So I'm going to hit the clear button and go back to one. I always call that going home. So I go back to what the base stitch on the machine is. So we're going to do memory. I want to combine, let's say, number 74 with 92. So I'm going to activate the memory. Memory. Let's select number 74. Number 74. This one puts it to memory. Next one I said was number 92. Memory. So now I have 2 stitches in there. Now I want to end my memory. I would just hit the memory button again. So now it is in my memory. This will only stay as the sewing machine is still powered on. So let's go ahead and stitch that out. Now I have the number 20 foot on my machine, which is really important to have when doing any type of decorative stitching. The reason is that it actually has a channel here where your decorative stitches will slide through. When you look at the standard foot that comes with this machine, almost every sewing machine, it doesn't have this channel, so it will ride on top of the stitches and you'll get really bad tension and stitches with it. By having this channel, the foot will go over top your stitches and you'll have the proper stitch length, stitch tension. So I'm going to put that on. Okay. So whenever I'm doing a decorative stitch, you need to have some type of stabilizer behind it that will support your stitches. If you've ever tried to do applique, write your name, do anything like that, you need to have some stabilizer behind it. And I'm just using a tearaway right now. It's a medium weight tearaway. Okay. So let's go ahead. So I did some straight stitching there. So what I want to do is I want to recall from my memory what that stitch is. So let's push our memory button up here. And you'll notice that it's showing me my first stitch that I picked. Okay. Let's go ahead. Now it's gone to stitch 92. Now, so it's going to repeat 74, 92, 74, 92. But what I could do is, this is my pattern end button up here. Right there. I can hit that. I could press that button and it will complete my pattern. Now it's going to 92 because my pattern is 74 and 92. This would be a very nice decorative stitch on a cuff, a waistband, and there it went to the very end of 92 and it stopped. Wouldn't that be pretty? On a collar, a cuff. It's a very pretty design. So there's only 30 spaces in the Bernina 335 to store, which is actually fairly large. Now, if I wanted to see what was actually in my memory, I would hit the memory, and we can see that that's the one I just put in, and that's it. There's only one in there. So now if I wanted to, let's say we want to put another one in, so let's go memory. So I've hit the memory. Let's select the pattern. In this case, let's do number 30, pound 30, memory. And then let's do pound 44, memory, done. So if I go to memory, here's the one I selected, number 30. Let's go ahead and give that a stitch out. Now I still have my pattern in button enabled. Now I'm on stitch number 44, and there it goes to the end, and it's done. Okay, we're now going to talk about combining decorative stitches and saving them to our memory. There are 30 spaces on the Bernina 335 in which to store stitch combinations in. If I hit the mem button, position 30 comes up. So it'll go to position 30, 29, 28, goes down. I'm going to add a decorative stitch. Let's pick number 44, so pound 44. Let's pick another one. Let's go pound 42, add. You can see it's going down in spaces. Let's do pound 56, position number 27. So each stitch is a memory place. I'm good with that. I've got the 3. Let's close the memory. Okay. Now if I want to see what's in my memory, I'm going to hit my left or right arrows. If I want to see what's in my memory, I'm going to hit memory. That was the first stitch I put in, 44, 42, and 56. Ended with position 27. So let's go ahead and stitch these out. Stitch this out. Now one stitch 56, and if I hit my end stitch when I'm at the end of that 3-stitch combination, it will stop. Number 56 is a very nice stitch. Beautiful decorative stitch. Here's my 3 stitches. Now you can see the importance of having stabilizer in, because my understitches, my bobbin stitches should be a little shorter than my top ones, and that's in fact is the correct way to do your decorative stitch. It provides the support and foundation for your decorative stitch. Let's say I want to edit the stitches that I have stored in my memory. So I'm going to scroll through my stitches. The first one was 44, 42, then 56. So memory. Let's say 42. I don't want stitch 42 anymore, which was this one. Let's say I actually wanted stitch 54. So this is where I want to make the change. So pound 54, and then press the arrow. Next one. There we go. Now let's see. 44, 54, 56. Very straightforward. So you'll cycle through to the stitch you want to change, pound the stitch number, right arrow, and you have changed your stored combination. So let's go ahead and stitch this out. I still have my end stitch enabled. And there we go. Fold that for you. So here's my heart. Here's my topiary, I call it, the 3 circles, bigger, medium, small, and then the N, little scroll one. So just to recap, we've shown how you can take decorative stitches, save them to memory, stitch them out, or you can alter any one of your saved stitches by bringing up that stitch that you want to change, entering in the new one, and then press arrow forward on your memory.